Hello there. Welcome to the second part of assertive communication. The second video will speak more about how you can be more assertive and what is it that you have to follow. Subscribe for both of them to understand assertive communication well. It will definitely help you in your progress towards your job and your multinational companies that you're dreaming about. Now, continuing with what are we speaking, how can I be more assertive? This is the next step that we're going to speak about. Note that 30% of our communication is verbal while 70% is non-verbal. Develop a non-verbal assertive behavior. Your body language should speak well about how assertive you are. There's things about your voice that you can manage, about your gestures, about your eye contact, facial expressions, and posture. When you have a social signaling, when you go out into the public, you should be able to show off that assertiveness with your body language, which is actually 70% of communication. Non-verbal behaviors definitely influence your impact on others. It shows about what kind of a personality you are. You would have noticed it happening around you. When somebody walks in, the attention they seek with their kind of body language. For example, look directly at another person when addressing them. It's important that you don't look here and there. See and look at them. Have good eye contact while you speak to them. A little more continuing about how I can be more assertive. Maintain an open posture. Be there while you sit. Don't cross your arm or leg. It becomes a defensive position. While you cross your arm across your chest, it becomes very defensive. Do not do that. It helps people understand when you don't or when you're open-bodied, telling about it that you're very assertive while you're speaking to them. If you're standing, stand erect, straight and speak to people. Stay calm. Avoid getting over emotional or excited. Aggressive people do that most. Practice being assertive through writing, role plays and real life situation, listening to people, observing people, speaking to them. An assertive person is always a good influence on others. Don't assume others know you or what you feel. You don't need to make them feel that. You just have to speak out for them to understand. Other people are not mind readers. Say what is your rights. How can I be more assertive? Continuing with this. The second most important thing you have to understand is the learn to say no. An assertive person is very comfortable in telling that no. He can say it to people. Saying no sets limits of what other people demand or have expectation from you. Especially when it comes to conflicts of your own, it always is good to say that good no. You can acknowledge the other person's request by repeating it back, explaining your reason for declining why you told a no to them. If appropriate, suggest an alternative proposal when both your needs will be met. That is, the other and your needs are met halfway. It is good to understand rather than just being a person who will be passive and accepting what other says. Now, an example of how to say no. I understand that you would like to get together tonight. Now, this is an acknowledgement you gave. Continue. It turns out that I really have had a long day and I'm exhausted. That's an explanation you're giving. So, I'll pass on tonight. You're saying a no. Perhaps there's another night, later this week, we can get together. What do you think? Now, this is an alternative situation. You just gave an acknowledgement. You explained why you're saying a no. You told a no, and also you gave an alternate solution about how and when it can be done. So this is where you're being assertive and you're meeting both for expectations. What isn't assertive? Being selfish is aggressive. It isn't assertive. Being aggressive isn't assertive. Now, when we speak about being selfish, here you're concerned only with what you gain, about what is important to you. That's selfish. Now, being aggressive, you're very demanding, you're hostile with others, you disrespect people, you have a negative influence of others, and you make others' feeling and their individual rights look negative. You succeed with sheer force and creating enemies and conflict all along the way you go. You will also become a loner later in life. Continuing with what isn't aggressive. Being passive aggressive is also negative. You express anger and aggression in a covert way. You express anger that people don't acknowledge, and you also express aggression in a negative way. You fail to do your share of work and make unreasonable criticism of people and authority or whoever is working along with you. This is called passive aggression. It's a negative way to deal with, because you are taking advantage of the situation, or you're not being what is really asked of you to do. Common traits of being not assertive. You become a procrastinator. You sulk a lot. You always argue. And whenever you are asked to do something, you complain without justification about why you can't do that. Forgetting your obligations become another important part of not being assertive. Believing you are better than others is becoming over-aggressive, where you don't understand real assertiveness. You cannot stand useful suggestions, and you cannot accept constructive criticism at all. A small, simple feedback also looks very negative to you. Continuing with what isn't assertive. You become manipulative when you're not assertive. You get others to feel sorry or guilty for what you want. You play that game. You play the role of a victim or a martyr always. It only works when others do not realize what you're doing, but definitely they will realize soon and go away from you. Eventually it makes people feel confused, crazy, angry, and there's a lot of resentfulness towards you. So being not assertive is completely negative. To summarize, assertiveness is not being selfish, not being aggressive, not being passive aggressive, or not being manipulative. Even though we do not use this communicative tactics at some point in our life, in what we get, sometimes it becomes. But spending your life on time of not being assertive communicator will bring definitely stress, dissatisfaction, and disappointment to you. So being assertive is the best thing that you can do to yourself. Now let's look at what do I get from being more assertive. It enables you to obtain more of what you want and need in your life. It helps minimize stress, frustration, disappointment, resentment in your relationship, in your interaction with others, and also your professional life. It helps you take more risk and ask more of life in general. It adds to your sense of autonomy. It adds to your sense of freedom and self-confidence. You definitely gain respect from others for being direct, open, and honest. You definitely would love looking at your own self in the mirror. Coming to the end of assertiveness. Assertiveness is really about knowing what isn't, and what is assertive communication, and what you want and what will never be. Seizing opportunities to be assertive. Recognizing the value in being assertive. Increasing the prospect of your rights, feelings, needs, wants, and being right and what is to be met. In all, assertiveness contributes to your academic success, and it helps you fulfill your career and life opportunities and ambitions. Be assertive. Subscribe to both the videos. Understand what is being assertive. Assertiveness will take you a long way. Assertiveness will help you become a stronger personality. If somebody doesn't accept your assertiveness, they were never the most important part of your life. Let them go. Being assertive, you can definitely be a better professional. You can grow in your career. Being assertive, you will be able to comfortably tell a no. I wish you all the best for the best of the future. Subscribe to all the videos. Many more done, many more to come forward. Thank you.